disengage that hip and step it over that way. Go back to the opposite side. Disengage it here. Getting them to step over. You can ask your horse to lunge around you. Both directions. Right and left, ask them to lunge around. You can ask them to walk. You can ask them to trot. And then you can bring them back to center again. And usually by that time you can step right back up in there again. And just by taking another thing, taking your laddie go a little bit tighter, you can get one more notch, which will make your saddle snug. You don't really want it snug that you can't put a whole bunch of weight on your saddle and be rocking it back and forth. It won't fall off. Your horse has a real round back. You might have to be a little bit tighter, but as you ride, your cinches will get a lot looser because their belly starts to shrink. I like to try to keep all my little ends and whatever buckled so nothing's hanging down. I've had these hanging out long on people that have gotten in, like loping in a circle. This is hanging out there too long. The hind foot will step on it. Making a sharp turn, it gets lower to the ground on this side. Other than that, that's about it. On that. Okay, this here is just a riding pad. It's something that, you know, kids get to where they can learn to ride, their balance. They got something they could hang on to if they had to. These are just something quick and fast and dirty if you wanted to go for a little ride or just out take your horse, give him some exercise. Slap it on there. You only have one little cinch strap. It doesn't have a cinch on it, but it comes from the other side. It has a little buckle that's just like a motorcycle helmet. Pick it up through, put it back down through, and then you can snug it tight. These saddles aren't made to really hold a lot of back and forth because there's no tree in there, so they're made to ride bareback with no stirrups, but they also have a buckle on here. They make a stirrup that we also sell that goes right on here and buckles down that you can adjust your foot to that. But if you want to just learn to ride, or if you just want to just go for a little ride, quick and fast, and put it on them, always just make this snug up. It doesn't have a lever device where you can just pry and pull and go up, but as long as it's snug, it's just something fast, cheap, inexpensive, something the kids can't really tear up, but they can learn to ride with their balance back and forth. You can get where you can turn around, do a lot of things on your horse, but the biggest thing is it protects the horse's back from you sitting on them, give you what would say a softer cushion to sit on, but once you sit on it, there isn't much cushion there. But other than that, that's just another saddle thing that we have to offer. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So now we're doing an English saddle. They have a different pad. They come in about 500 assorted styles. A lot of them have a wedge pad. All the horses are different. A lot of the English saddles are horses of real high withers, backs. If you get a saddle, you're better off to consult with somebody that knows what they're doing. Buying a saddle that fits your horse, because that one English saddle especially, you're going to be riding him for a long period of time. He's jumping, he's doing a lot of maneuvers that are going to require him to bend, turn, and flex and everything without causing him to get sore. These saddles, these pads have attachments on them that hook onto your saddle. There's a million different styles. They're lightweight, but when you ride one and get used to riding one, It teaches you a lot of balance. It gets you a lot of feel of your horse. We have a girth that goes on there. You really have to check. We'll see if this fits this horse here, but there's different ways of attaching your girth depending on your horse. So I say consult somebody that knows what they're doing before you spend a lot of money and get something you don't need. But the biggest thing is always to keep them even on your buckles, so you always know that it's not the saddle causing the pain instead of you. This side has attachment that has a spongy, like a bungee cord on it, so you can tighten your girth up. Just take it up snug at first. If you go up 3 notches on there, go 3 notches on this one. Check your stirrup just to make sure. A lot of saddles, you want to have them parallel so you're sitting straight in the saddle. A lot of high-withered horses, your gullet is way up high and you're sitting down low, which sits you back on your horse. They want you to sit flat, so you might have to buy a wedge pad that fits in here. They have little inserts. They have some that are just pads that are built up in the front, so the high-withered horse is protected from the back and forth rocking here. There's a million styles. I just recommend that you have somebody that knows what they're doing before you invest a lot of money in buying something that won't work and have to trade it in and get it to somebody else. Stirrups and irons. There's hundreds of different kinds of irons that will fit you. And that's about it on an English saddle. Other than just once you get into working and working your horse, you can always reach down here and take up 1 more notch, so you have 4 there, 4 there, just so it's always tight. And that's an English saddle, which we have a lot of in the catalog. So.